Hi, this is Oscar here. I'm going to talk about inheritance today. And one thing that is from name is going to be the same thing that we get something inherited from our parents, from gene type, or if there is any property left, we are going to inherit it from our parents. So the child they are going to receive. Inheritance, it's a started from C++, is very important subject, and is if you want to be a programmer, for sure you have to know about classes and inheritance. If we define a class and that class has certain of the method, the property, then we are able to get, and that we call as a parents class, then we are able to create another uh, object, and this object, which should be as called child, is going to inherit everything from that class if we give the type for that object. Let me show you how it's going to be here. For example, if we have a company, this is a company, we assume that is an airline, and this airline, for all their employees, they have name, phone, ID, all of them, they have the same thing, and probably some other like email address or salary wise, all they have to do. But this company, this airline, they have pilot, they have flight attendant, and they have the other crew. But each crew, they have name, phone number, ID. But for example, this crew, which is pilot, has different methods, different thing that it does. So it's flying. Flight attendant has different method, different thing it does. So, but all of them, all of these two object that we have it here is going to inherit it, everything that we have right here. So we do not have to write again for the pilot have the name, phone number, ID, or flight attendant have name, phone number, ID. The only thing that we have to do, we create this object, and this object is going to inherit it as a type of the get all the method and property from this one. Let me go to give you an example. I'm going to PyCharm, and we start a new thing, and let me going to do it. I'm going to do it. I put a class here, and in this class I have a int, and let me give you ID for employee, and let me give them a phone number. So all the employee, assuming they have more maybe, but I just give you three, they have all the employees, they have name, ID, phone number for contact. So to get them, we say self, and then assign a name on it. And the second one, I'm going to have ID. I just copy and paste here. I have phone. ID, and then I have here phone. Okay. Assuming that I want to print all these names when I give them, I want just print them out. So I define a function, and I call it print name. Let me, and that be self. And what I want to do, I want print all these three ID, and then the second and the third one is self phone. Okay, so this is the function that I want to do. Now I'm going to create 1, 2, 3. Just let me create only two objects, which those object is going to get everything from these parents. So they get the name, ID, phone number. And let me call this class, let me call it pilot, and they get everything from their parents. So they have this class. The type is they inherited everything from here. And let me pass it. I don't want let me, and then I have one more class, and then let me say that flight class is going to have everything from the employee, and same thing is going to happen. So I'm going to have, but now I'm going to create one object, one to be able to pass from the pilot all the information. Let me do this one. I'm going to create one object, and let me call this object as a with capital P pilot, and I assign this one as a pilot, and I give the name. Let me give the name. We have the name here, so I give name, and let me give ID. Let me give ID, and let me give you a phone number. Okay, so what happened? I create two other subclass or child of that one, and both of them they are inheriting everything from this parents class. And let me print this one out, see how does it come. So I just get this variable that I get here, and I get this object function here, and let me run it. So I have actually, I should give whatever that I want to give it. Take it John. I have it. Let me give it here. So what happened here? I create, now I can create one method here, any function, anything I can create here. And for example, if it's a pilot, I can create a pilot which certain hours get this one, get certain information here. The training is different. The training of the pilot is different. The pay of both of them is different. So if I have the pay for here and pay for here, there are two different pay because based on their income is going to be, based off their experience they have. So in these two classes, I create two subclass or chart that inherited everything from parents, and we are able to get everything from them. So in case if I didn't want to have these parents, so what is going to happen? I have to have everything. I have to create the same thing for this object, again for this object. So if I have, for example, 10 objects, imagine how I'm going to do that. Right now, this company, for example, is, airline. They have the crew downstairs. They have flight attendant that we mentioned. They have the ticket person. They have travelers. So each one we are going to create. So for each one, we have to have all the information, if not more. Now assume that I want to have different function and method for each one. Let me give you one example. For example, here, let me give another function, call it salary, and what I want to have, let's say total salary, and then we say that it's about 5,000 times that 7% that they have to receive. or 7. And let me print this one out, and with so, and this one can have more function. Each individual by itself is going to have, can have more, or hours that they are going to work it. And let me ask to see if how can I, and then I will say, let me have it text here, one, or is let's give it a space here. And what I'm going to ask here, I'm going to ask the pilot, the object that we create here, and then I'm going to ask the dot function, the salary function here, the salary here. Let me run this one, see what will happen. So each individual right now by itself has, so I can have one more here or 10, doesn't make a difference, depends on each individual function that I have here. And I can have fly attendant different salary wise, that so, or what is the time they are spending for training. So hopefully that you get something out of that one. So one more time, the main one, which is these guys, all of them, they inherited everything from the parents. So they are going to have the same, not the same, but name, ID, phone number, all these two. They have this tree, and then they can have their own function. Hopefully you get something out of that one. Good luck and